Hello and welcome to Turning Point. It is the clash between two teams that are unbeaten during the tournament, India versus New Zealand. In the backdrop of the Dholadhar range, these two captains and their teams will clash against each other. It's a big contest given that, it is happening at a stadium where, of course, the swing bowlers will come to the party. It is also a contest when we have seen that New Zealand have been dominant over India in the World Cups. Remember 2019, that will be fresh in the memory of many Indian fans. And it's not just 2019, we've gone through heartbreaks in 2021, we have gone through other heartbreaks in 2016. We will talk all about that with our experts on the show. We are counting down to the clash right now. Both teams unbeaten in the tournament. I'll get my experts into the show, Saba Karim and Vijay Daya, both former Indian cricketers. Saba, tell us, we have not broken the New Zealand jinx. Can we break it tonight?
Oh yes, definitely. I think India is in a rich vein of form, and I do expect India to beat New Zealand in this league fixture, because India has got the right kind of balance. Although India would miss Hardik Pandya, but so be it. But India has adequate replacement. I guess Surya Kumar Yadav will come in as a number 6 batter, and you expect Mohammad Shami to come in as a third seamer, and that will kind of complete the 11 for India. They're up against a very strong and a very strong work ethics kind of a side, New Zealand. They have done very well so far in this tournament, and they have this this very stubborn kind of an attitude that whoever it may be in the opposition, they'll always try and deliver the best. So that is what India would be hoping or would be expecting from New Zealand.
Vijay, would you say it's more mental, not getting the better of the Kiwis, or would you say it's really that big performance that have come from the Kiwis during matches against India?
It's both in a way. And when you say mental, I think it's not mental against the New Zealand. It's about what is at stake. Maybe that World Cup, maybe, playing in that big event plays in your mind. Because wherever Indian team is playing, you always say that, you're your favourites, you're going to get to at least the finals or something like that. So that can play in your mind rather than thinking of that New Zealand putting that extra pressure. But let's not forget about, give credit where it's due. New Zealand has done phenomenally well in ICC tournaments. And, every time you see in league phases or whenever they're playing, a new guy will stand up and deliver. That's been their strength. And I have not seen anything different in this World Cup so far in first 4 games. The way they have started, everybody said England was a hot favourite. But the way they have started and the way they are going on about the business right now, it's so heartening to see that hard work and keeping your ethics and everything do pay off.
Well, India have won the toss right now in Dharamsala, and they are going to be bowling first. Saba, a definite advantage given that it is Dharamsala and given that the ball is expected to swing.
Yes, because the swing degree here is a little bit more than the other venues, about 1.4 to 1.6 degree more, which means that India should benefit. And hopefully if they play Mohammad Shami, I think that will be an added advantage for India. Also, I believe at Dharamshala there will be some effect of dew as the game progresses. So I think that's another reason why India wants to bowl first, and they are much better off chasing. And India has done that so far in the tournament. They do have the right kind of depth, which will allow them to chase whatever score is put up here by New Zealand. But they're up for a stiff challenge, because New Zealand have gotten depth in their batting. They open with Will Young and Devon Conway. Conway has done well. Rachin Ravindra comes in at number 3. They bat deep. They have Daryl Mitchell. They have Tom Latham. They bat till number 8. Mitchell Santner comes in at number 7, number 8. They also have Mark Chapman. So I think it's a very formidable batting lineup from New Zealand.
Also George Bailey. Vijay, do India need to worry about Devon Conway and his form?
I think they'll be more thinking about what they have done so far, and they'll be, keeping that confidence and going on in the same way that they have done so far in this tournament. Yeah, you do keep an eye on the opposition, and especially the opposition who's done so well so far in this tournament. What just Saba has said, I'm going to just add one more thing to it. Saba just mentioned about the swing that you get here. The other thing is that it's a 6 hitting round. It's on a high altitude. The air is really thin there, and you get a lot of sixes. So I'm hoping it's going to be a big scoring game as well.
And what about, you mentioned about New Zealand batting deep. how much do you expect them to score on this track with, the Indian
I think India should be pretty happy chasing about 270, 280. Anything beyond 300 may just get difficult for India. Having said that, I want India to be tested. Because this is the right time to find out about your strength and your weaknesses. If there are any chinks in your armor, then you can work doubly hard to remove that. And I think New Zealand is one such side that can really test India today. Given the conditions, we have talked about the seeming conditions. They have 3 top quality bowlers. They have Trent Boult, Matt Henry, and then Lockie Ferguson. But right now, because India is bowling first, I think India's biggest challenge would be to try and pick up early wickets with the new ball.
Vijay, let me also talk to you about the spin bowling challenge that India has as against the spin bowlers of the opposition. Would you say that they can really restrict New Zealand to a small total? Saba mentioned about 270.
I think the fast bowler needs to give a good early good breakthroughs. Then only you can expect spinners to do well here, because if you look at this ground, if you look at the pitch here, that doesn't assist spinners that much. We have just talked about it. The challenge is for the spinners there, but yeah, you can compensate that with the fast bowling and good fast bowling, and we do have really good fast bowlers. So I think fast bowlers do need to come into the party in this particular game. We were just talking about New Zealand as well. We talked about their fast bowlers. Let's not forget about the class of Centner. We talked about other spinners, but if you look in the opposition, he's the best spinner apart from the Indian spinners in this World Cup. So he's going to be very, very crucial as far as New Zealand is concerned, and that's the reason why they're getting these kind of results, what they have got so far.
And Mitchell Santner has learned a lot of experiences from Chennai, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So he knows how to bowl in these conditions. He bowls slow, another fastest delivery, brings the ball in with the arm. So he's quite deceptive. So I think India will be careful when they play against Mitchell Santner. But I think there is one area where India can try and exploit, because if you look at the composition of the New Zealand side, Rika, they have 3 top quality pace bowlers. They have Mitchell Santner, and they utilize Glenn Phillips and Rachin Ravindra as the 5th bowler. And I think India's strategy would be try and target the 5th bowler. So that's what India would try and do. Notwithstanding the fact that India has always maintained this aggressive approach, and I'm sure that they will continue in the same way even in today's game.
Nika, a very good point that what Saba has just said, and I'll just add on to that. Santner plays for which team? He plays for Chennai. And when you play a team which got a winning sort of a mentality, you learn so much. And and we said that about the Afghanistani bowlers as well, that when you play for these kind of teams, you go back, you discuss. And this New Zealand side is that kind of side where a lot of people talk to each other and try and figure it out what's going on. And it's a big platform for them to showcase and get big contracts, going forward. But playing in that team, he's definitely in a company of some people who are absolutely shrewd about this game, and they'll be sharing a thing or two. And Santner is a very smart learner. If it's not only about his bowling, he can contribute with his bat as well. He's somebody who's very, very crucial for New Zealand if they're going to go all the way in this competition.
Saba, another bowler, Kiwi bowler I have to talk about is Matt Henry. Do you think the Indians would have got him off their head? 2019 is still playing in my head, though.
I know, Rika. But you know what? It's all boils down to the preparation. I think Indian batting side would have gone through the analysis of Matt Henry, Trent Boult, even Lockie Ferguson, try and figure out what are the strengths and weaknesses, then try and strategize according to that. But Matt Henry is a very key bowler for New Zealand. Has already taken 9 or 10 wickets so far. Bowls with the new ball, exceptional quality. Gets the ball to swing both ways. Can hit the deck hard. Lockie Ferguson, another strong third seamer. They have Trent Boult. Everybody knows his ability to pick early wickets, especially against Indian top order left arm seam bowler. So I think that will be a big challenge. So that's why I said I look at this battle between New Zealand's strong pace bowling attack versus India's strong batting lineup, and at the same time I draw some similarity between in both the teams in terms of run accumulation. If you look at India, Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, all of them capable of rotating the strike.
True.
And I think New Zealand also to a large extent does that. Although they don't have Kane Williamson, but they have Daryl Mitchell, they have Devon Conway, they have Tom Latham, all of them capable of rotating the strike. So I think for the two Indian spinners today will be a different kind of challenge. They're up against the New Zealand side, which will not only focus on hitting the big shots, but also they will look to rotate the strike so that the momentum does not go away during the innings.
And in bowling, we were talking about two other, but let's not forget about Trent Bolt. Trent Bolt is a New
smiling
Zealand
assassin.
a New Zealand Bumrah, because his ability to come in the middle overs as well to get wicket, and the captains, whoever has used him so far, always use him as a wicket taking option. So they get Trent Bolt as well, which is we're looking for a good game. Honestly, we're looking for a good game. Two top sides.
Vijay, talking about the New Zealand bowling unit, they have almost retained the class of 2019. I don't see too much change there. I mean,
I see it the other way around. They don't have options, Rika. It's not about that they have retained it. I mean, Team Saudi is injured. Otherwise, he's also part of this squad. So we have not seen him playing all the games right now because of the injury.
But hasn't India done that as well, isn't it? Except for MS.
Almost, yeah.
Almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, it's the same question in the Indian, dugout as well.
Yeah.
Who's there? I mean, like, you can talk about and say that, all right, this guy should have been there. That though we talk about everyone. But if with the conviction, there's nobody missing out, especially in fast bowling department, there's nobody missing out. And the same thing goes for New Zealand as well. Where are the options? None.
But this is another, I think me and Vijay were discussing this in Hindi, that this is a great opportunity for India to test this kind of combination. Even if Hardik Pandya is back, will they persist with Mohammad Shami? So a lot depends on the way Mohammad Shami performs today. But if India is comfortable with this kind of an option, you have five bowlers, including Mohammad Shami, even if Hardik Pandya is back, is that a better or a more competitive, or does that give India an edge going forward in the other games?
But where do Hardik fit in if he's
He comes
back?
in place Surya Kumar Yadav at number 5, at number 6. So that's fine. That's a straight swap. But I think so far India has gone ahead with Hardik Pandya and Shardul Thakur. Now today's game, if Mohammad Shami does well, then can India think of altering that kind of combination?
It's the force changed.
Right.
We were earlier talking about that another change that you can do it and play with that sort of combination, because right now, because it's forced, you have only 5 bowlers and anyone can have a bad day. And we've been saying all along that our top 4 or 5, they don't bowl. So that's the reason why there's a more challenge. But with Hardik being in the side and Shami playing, you have 6 bowling options, and you have that the solid bowling unit. Plus, you have to, trust your batsmen. They are doing so well.
It's all about wisdom, isn't it? That's what Plato said long time back. A bit of wisdom is a joy forever. I hope India sticks to this.
Yes, I hope, their wisdom shows up today. One of the things I think, Saba and Vijay, that we haven't really seen in this World Cup so far in 4 matches is challenge to the lower order. Do you reckon that might come today? Because we haven't seen the top order failing, the lower order coming to the party. That kind of a test.
Yeah, if it happens, so be it. I think number 6 is Surya Kumar Yadav, number 7 is Ravindra Jadeja. I think it'll be a good challenge for them, but both of them are quite capable of doing well for India. So far, they haven't had the opportunity, so we really can't say whether they are in top form or not. Even before this, Hardik Pandya, did he get a chance to bat? I don't think so. So I think it's been pretty easy game so far for India. But even if they are tested, they should be up for it.
Yeah. So that's one of the tests that we are looking forward to. Vijay.
I mean, look where we are right now. We're sitting right at the top. We must have done something really well. That's why we're there. And you'll always say that this thing has not been tested, or a lot of people are already saying that India is
being cautiously
I'm not talking about you.
optimistic.
I'm not talking about the people are saying India is already playing their A game. They have peaked too early. They have not they have not been tested. What if they have a bad game right at the top or something like that? People, I'm like, you keep talking about all those things. You have to give credit at the moment where it's due. It's due because our top order is batted really, really well, and I think they are putting enough pressure on the opposition bowlers or whatever team they come from. I think there's so much pressure on those bowlers to look at this batting lineup and not only look up and that they're in form as well. So I won't worry too much about that. The lower order, the middle order is not been tested yet.
And I think India has won all the big moments in the matches so far. They were tested in the first game against Australia, 3 down for hardly anything on board. India came back, recovered and won the match quite comfortably in the end. Even in the last game against Bangladesh, if you recall, the first 10 to 12 overs, Bangladesh got off to a very good start. So India was to some extent under a little bit of pressure. But that is what big teams are capable of. Can you strike back? Can you come back and pick up early? Can come back and pick up wickets to break that partnership. And India has done that. They did that against Pakistan in that partnership between Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. Even in the last game against Bangladesh, India had enough arsenal, enough bowlers to come back and pick wickets in the middle overs to get back into the game and apply pressure on Bangladesh.
You know, there's been a lot of talk in the media whether New Zealand is India's bogey team. Would you?
It's time to remove that tag, isn't it, Rika? And I think this side, and I think we have talked about this number of times, that these cricketers, I don't think they have that kind of baggage. They should not have. They have played so much of cricket. They have enough experience among the team, in the team management, and you feed off each other. And that's how you step onto the ground. You don't even worry about what has happened in the past. We keep talking about it. 2019 we lost to New Zealand. So I mean, it is in the past.
No, but
so
we have also
ahead.
lost to them in 2021, as late as 2021, just not.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying this is the time to come out of that and remove that tag and do well against a strong side like New Zealand.
Yeah.
There's one more team who's trying to get rid of that tag is South Africa. I mean, like, you know, everybody talks about in the come World Cup and that chokers tag.
And they've
is
done
still
that already in one game.
one game. So, and look at the conditions, look at how you're playing, look at the team combination, look who's firing at the moment. All those things are giving you a sign that, you know, this Indian team is about to change that, what people are a little concerned about.
Vijay, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is the picture of the dressing room that's coming out, you know, after each game. What do you make out of that? We, of course, are getting to see a picture of a happy dressing room. Is it a dressing room that gives you the vibes that they're all set to go all the way and, you know, play that final game in Ahmedabad?
It's not only a happy dressing room; it's a winning dressing room. I mean, like, you can have these kind of cameras in Pakistani or Australian camp as well, and you can pick up any stories you want to. You remember in one of the games where Afridi had a bit of a chat with Babar, and, you know, he answered back or something like that, and everybody starts saying, oh, everything is not well. When you're winning, you cover a lot of things. But yeah, look at this. The other thing is, because of the IPL and everything, they spend so much time together in those teams as well, and there are less pressure sometimes in those teams, and you are able to have much more bond. I mean, like, you know, you can see. Earlier, in a baton, you used to say there are groups in the side. Now you say in the same way that look at the age group. There are different age group, and the comfort level. Somebody who's as young as what, 22, 23, have the I mean, like, no fear to go out there and ask anything, and that too on camera. So I mean, like, somewhere down the line, you're breaking that ice as well and trying to make it. Like
Shubman Gill's interactions with Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, already getting training for the next whatever gonna come after they retire. I mean, like, another training going on in that sense. But yeah, I mean, like, it's for the TV. Honestly, it's for the TV, and especially, I mean, like, you're winning. You are allowing everything to get into the dressing room as well, and build another thing by saying this. Let's not forget about most of the overseas teams, most of the overseas team coaches, they read a lot of thing in the print media, and, you know, and they shape up their thoughts, they shape up their practice sessions according to that. So right now, when they are sitting in their dugout or practice session or their dressing room, they must be saying, oh, look at that dressing room. It's a very happy dressing room, gelling together. They're playing for each other. You know, this is another added sort of a pressure as far as the other teams are concerned.
That's a very nice perspective. So actually the other, the backroom staff and other dressing room, they're reading what's being written in the media and they're relaying.
They do that, coaches. I've worked with so many overseas coaches. I mean, like, you know, their thinking starts from here. Sometimes you feel, I mean, like, you have to come with your own thinking, and all these things shouldn't affect your thinking. But I've worked with the best in the business as well, who comes from abroad. Their thinking starts from what they're reading, and, you know, just trying to start a conversation from there. I'm sure they'll be looking at these video clips and everything, and thinking of doing something like this as well as for the team bonding.
But don't you think that should not be the case, Vijay, isn't it? I mean, you have your own set, I mean, ideas, and be flexible, but it should not be dictated what the other team is doing. Because you have your own team plans, you have your own way of creating a very conducive environment. I think that is the biggest challenge, especially in a tournament as prestigious as the World Cup.
Would you say is the key to
outside noises, because you stick to your own game plan and be flexible. It is not that you are blind to what is happening around you. is just trying to absorb from your learnings, from whatever games you have played, from whatever game the other teams are playing, and learn from there and make your strategy according to that. And getting back to these pictures, it is happening now. It is not that India didn't have a very happy dressing room in 2019 when we lost. What a sterling performances we had till the semi-final. But it's because of this influence of media, and BCCI has allowed the camera to go into the dressing room and capture such moments, that we are seeing all this. So which is perfectly fine, because eventually in a tournament like this, you need to bond, and I think that's what the team management is trying to do, and it is reflecting on the way India has played so far, and also off the field.
Well,
reflection is always when you're done well. And when we talk about cut out the outside noise, you only cut out the negative outside noise. And when the other teams are looking, what I'm saying, the other coaches are looking, they're saying, okay, maybe this is also helping. So when you try and do all those things, you're away. I mean, like, let's not forget, India is playing at home. Everything is behind them. The touring parties was very limited people. So just trying to build that sort of atmosphere in the dressing room where they feel that, all right, we're playing for some purpose, we're playing for each other. And most of the time, the teams who are struggling will try and pick up something from from a winning dressing room.
Well, we'll see what kind of wisdom Indian cricket team has picked up from their failings against New Zealand previously, and they are going out today to break that Kiwi jinx in the World Cup. Thank you very much, Vijay and Saba, for joining me on the broadcast at this hour. With that, a quick break on the show. More coming up on the other side. Stay tuned.